Now see, all plants are not are capable of photosynthesizing. There are certain plants which cannot make their own food, and they are heterotroph. That means they cannot make their own food. So if we look like how they obtain food, so they can be parasite, they can be saprophytes, and moreover they can be insectivorous. Now parasites, as you all know, that parasites are the one which live on the other plant and obtain nutrition from it. And so that means like here we have an example, that is Cuscuta and Rafflesia. So what they do, they feed on other plant, like that they live on it. Suppose we say that this is another plant, that the plant on which it lives is host, and this is a parasite, so obviously it will live on this. So this is a parasite, this is another plant which is a parasite, and this is one is host. Now what does a parasite do? Parasite actually make an adventitious root, and these adventitious roots arises from the stem. So those adventitious root which arises from the stem is being given a special name, that is Haustoria, and from this Haustoria they are actually taking up the nutrition from the host. So that means parasites are the one which live on other plant, that is the host plant, and to fulfill its nutritional requirement, like we have Cuscuta, Rafflesia. Some are totally parasites, that means they depend on all activities, they are dependent on them, and some are partial, that means some do some of the things by themselves, and some of its requirement it's being fulfilled by the host plant. Second we have is the saprophytes. Saprophytes are the one which feed on dead and decaying organic matter. As we know, fungus. So what happened, like suppose this is a bread and we say that fungus grows on it. So what fungus actually do? It secretes certain enzymes from its body. This enzyme convert the bread, that means a complex food, into simple soluble form. And then the simple soluble form is absorbed through general body surface and it is being absorbed. So this is what is a saprophyte, and fungi is a typical saprophyte. The third we have is an insectivorous. Insectivorous plants are those which actually grow in the soil which is deficient in nitrogen or some other compounds. So they actually live in a harsh condition. So for fulfilling its nutritional requirement, they feed on insects. Like we have pitcher plant, see. In pitcher plants, leaves are modified into a special kind of structure. As you can see that here, this is a petiole from which it is suspended by leaf tendril, and the leaf is being modified into a pitcher-like structure. So this is a lid and this is a hollow space inside. So what happened? This is sticky somewhat. It is somewhat sticky. So what happened, whenever the insects strikes it, so it is being sticky, so insects just stick to it, and it is when it sticks, so it get into it, and this lid get closed. Inside the digestive enzymes are secreted which actually eat up the insects. So this is how they are fulfilling their nutritional requirement. The other way we have is the Venus flytrap. We see that in this also the leaves is being modified. It possesses a hair-like structures, that is tentacles. These tentacles actually produce a sticky substance. So whenever insect touch this sticky substance, these tentacles, they get stick to it, the tentacles moves inside, the insect is pushed inside, and again the digestive juices are secreted and it is being digested. So this is what is an insectivorous plant. And you know that there is one more practice that is called as symbiosis, or you can say symbiotic relationship. It is a subcategory of parasitism. So in symbiotic relationship, again two plants live together, that means a parasite lives in the host body, and you know that, but both are mutually benefited in that case. For example, we have lichens. Lichens is an association of algae and fungi. So what does an algae do? Algae form food for the fungi, and in return fungus is also performing certain activity, that it is making the algae absorb nutrients and water and minerals from the soil, and obviously it is again giving a support also. So that means in this also they are mutually benefited. So symbiotic relationship is a kind of parasitism in which both the partners, that is the host and the parasite, they are mutually benefited. Likewise, we have Rhizobium bacteria. We know that Rhizobium bacteria lives in the roots of leguminous plants. So what they do, like plant is giving shelter to the rhizobium, and in return rhizobium is capable of trapping the free nitrogen and converting into nitrogenous compounds. So in that case also both are benefited. So this is what is an heterotroph mode of nutrition in plants.